ready to head over to Studio 2A. Really excited to have this week's guest in studio. Stripes will be with us here for the next hour. They've got a couple performances this week at the Box Yard, and then at Second Saturdays. We'll talk about that and a whole lot more. But first, live from Studio 2A, here's Stripes.
1, 2, 3, 4!
Far too quickly for you and me. We did the last part in the beginning. I know you still think of it. I was just inconsolably horny, and I fucked up a good thing. I could never be happy. As I put my lips against your neck, and I know I shouldn't have done it. My hands smell like cigarette as I watch upon this train wreck, and I know I shouldn't have done it. Oh, I shouldn't have done it. Girl, I'm a smoking, drinking bad boy. Goddamn, you know the real me. That happened way too fast for us to be happy together. Song for you, girl. I'm a smoking, drinking bad boy, but goddamn, you know the real me. That happened way too fast for us to be happy together. Oh, and I wrote this song for you, girl. I'm a smoking, drinking bad boy, but goddamn, you know the real me. That happened way too fast for us to be happy together. see? Tell me, do you like what you see? Woo! Do you like what you see? Do you like what you see? Bury my head in the dirt, rid myself of all the pain and hurt. Woo! Do you like what you see? 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 Come on with a bottle of wine. Can you tell me why I waste all my damn time? Wondering if you still like me. Do you think I'm stupid? Do you find me funny? Waiting to say the right words to make you love me. Psych! Woo! I don't care.
You're tuned in to Locals Only, live in Studio 2A with Stripes. Thanks for coming down tonight, everybody.
Thank you.
So why don't we start off with introductions? We'll go around the room. Everybody let us know who you are and what you're playing tonight.
Hi, I'm Bella. I hit the drums. I also... Yeah.
That's
I
good
also
enough.
play a little bit of triangle. I'm a pro.
Is that drum?
Harmonica.
That's
drums.
percussion.
Oh, okay.
Some sort of percussion. Rafe?
Hi, I'm Rafe. I'm playing the bass, and I'm playing the bass.
Yeah.
I'm Aiden, and I'm playing guitar.
Yeah.
I'm Izzy. I'm also playing guitar, and I'm also singing while playing the guitar. I know, right?
Wow.
Nice.
Multitasking. So let's talk a little bit about the history of Stripes. How long have you been playing together as Stripes?
Bella.
Izzy.
Me, Bella, and Aiden have been playing together since last summer
Yes.
in a separate project called John and the Cenas, copyrighted. We copyrighted that name. And me and Bella have been playing together in Stripes since November.
Yes.
So now it's September. So almost a year as Stripes. And these two joined like a week ago. So yeah.
Maybe a little more than a week ago.
Officially a week ago.
Officially a week ago. So, Rafe and Aiden.
Well, welcome. So coming up on just about a year for the project, what was the genesis of Stripes? What led to the creation of the band?
Well, Izzy had wrote some pretty dank songs, and she was like, "Yo, Bella, can you add some drums on these?"
Yeah.
And so I added some drums on those.
Pretty much. I had written... I was in another band called the Frex, and they were on the decline, and I was like, at that time, I had a little bit of a small addiction to playing shows. So I was like, if I'm not playing a show a week, I was also going to high school at the same time and working, but I was like, if I'm not playing a show a week, I'm gonna die, probably. I didn't, but I was like, okay, I need to keep playing shows. So I'm like, Bella, come play shows with me. And she's like 14 at this time, and we just, drag her out to house venues, like shady houses, and her parents were like, okay, yeah, you can just borrow her, and now here we are. Yeah.
Here you are.
Oh, yeah.
So were these songs that had been rattling around your head for a while, or did you did they really take final form when you decided that you wanted to have this project?
I have a bunch on my old SoundCloud. I spent about 2.5, maybe 3 weeks of last August, and I was like, I'm gonna write a song every single day, and I'm going to record it and produce it fully on GarageBand every single day. And I made it about 18 days until I became extremely sleep deprived, and then I had to stop. But a lot of those songs became Stripe songs, just altered very, very early demos of stuff like Crash and Burn, Red Light. A lot of the stuff off of our first album is on there, just really rough demos of just me on acoustic guitar playing them, yeah.
And at what point did you decide that you wanted to make the transition to rounding out the band?
Nearly immediately. I've wanted to be a 5-piece since forever, but I also want to play guitar while I'm singing. So I always wanted to be a singer who's not also playing an instrument, but it's fun, and you got to carry your weight a little bit.
Right.
But yeah, I'm super happy to be a 4-piece. Like, I could not be happier to have lead and rhythm guitar and a bassist. And we were working as a 2-piece very briefly, and it just wasn't,
Yeah.
It doesn't fill a room like a 4-piece does.
Yeah, it adds a lot. Now that we actually, have 2 more people in the band, I can hear the difference for sure.
So you mentioned the first album. At what point did you get in the studio and start working on that?
We started working on it, I believe, March of 2018? Yeah. 2019. What year is it? Yeah, this year. Yeah, so we released it in May, and we started recording it in March at Midtown Island Studios. Shout out Matt, if you're listening. Big shout out to Matt. He's awesome. He really helped us out. Without him, it totally wouldn't have been possible in terms of cost and in terms of everything and just not knowing what to do and being in a studio for the first time. He's really amazing. So if you're first time in the studio and you just want a relaxed environment, go to Matt at Midtown, definitely.
I want to talk more about the process of recording and releasing the album during our next break, but why don't we get back into some music?
Sounds good.
You're listening to Stripes here on Locals Only.
I'm turning right. My eyes burn at the sight of you. No need to complicate what we can't understand. I just wanna dance with you.
You're tuned in to Locals Only here on KXCI. My name's Matt, live in Studio 2A with Stripes. Thanks again for coming down, everybody.
Oh, good catch. and good toss.
So, where we left off at the last break was we were just about to talk about the process of recording the album.
Yes.
And you're at Midtown Island with Matt. And you mentioned it was your first time in a proper studio.
Yes.
So, what did you do to prepare for that? Like, did you go in with a game plan, or did you just go in and wing it?
Would you like to tell them, Bella?
We were very unprepared. We had maybe like 2 or 3 practices before going.
Totally.
Maybe 3 or 4.
We have totally, we've, everything about this band has changed since then. That was only, I don't know where, a few months ago, 6 months ago, we were recording.
Like 6 months ago.
We practiced probably 2 or 3 times for that, which is embarrassing. Now we practice like 2 or 3 times a day, an hour. So for that one, not nearly enough, but it was definitely a learning experience. And
we finished it in about, I don't know.
3 days?
Altogether, we finished it 3 days.
3 days for all the tracking, but
yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, it was definitely like nothing that I've done before in a band.
We went back in there. We went back to Midtown a month ago.
Yes.
To record our new EP coming out soon.
Cool.
So what were the? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh no, you.
No. What were the lessons learned in that second crack at recording? Were there things that you did differently when you were working on the EP?
Practice.
Practice more.
Just straight up practice. If anyone's listening and they're in a band, however much you're practicing is not enough, and you should probably be practicing 3 times that. I was reading through Kurt Cobain's journals, like very lightly reading through Kurt Cobain's journals, and Bella lives about like 30 miles away from where I live.
I live about 40 minutes away.
Yeah.
So
Something
I
like
live
that.
down in.
But I read
far
in
away.
Kurt Cobain's journals that one of the members in Nirvana would drive like 200 miles 5 times a week to go practice. That's probably made up numbers. But then I was like, Bella, I'm coming over every single day. And so I did for a while, and then we got these guys, and we practiced at Rafe's house, which is awesome.
Yes, very good. And we had Rafe join us for some days in the recording studio, and Aiden joined us to add some guitar over some tracks at the end there. So
Excellent. And has the EP seen the light of day yet? Will it be soon seeing the light of day?
Probably not. We're debating it. I would like to save some of these songs for an album, but we did record 5 songs.
Okay.
And we're going to record probably 3 or 4 more pretty soon. So we're just trying to get on a cycle of every time there's a school break, we're going into the studio. Every time there's a long weekend, we're in there, constantly making new stuff and releasing it and just putting the good word out for the people to listen to.
stay tuned for a new single and music video, though.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
cool.
music videos, all sorts of good stuff.
So, I mean, recording is a really different beast than playing live shows.
Yes.
It just is its own kind of thing. So one thing I'm curious about is, did you have a vision for what the recorded product would sound like in your head when you went in, or did you go in with more of an open mind?
I don't think for the first album, 520, I had all these demos, and I didn't have anything in my head because I didn't know what was possible. And we do live recording on tape with Matt. So if you make an error, he can maybe punch it in, but it's not like recording on a computer. Like, I would make all my demos on the computer, and if I missed one note, I could go in and, blend it all in there. But with live recording, you really have to have it down and be able to, like, play it how you play it in a live setting. And I forgot the question. What was the question?
That was good enough.
Okay. Vision for the new songs we just recorded, there was definitely a vision, and when I listen back to the demos, they sound just like the recording, but higher quality and such. So the vision is becoming more clear and more defined as we go on. In terms of tone, I have pedals for the first time. Shout out Steve. So there you go. We're leveling up slowly but surely.
There you go. So we're gonna do another set in a minute, but first I want to let people know how they can find your music online or find information about shows. So what's the best place to do that?
Spotify. We're on Spotify. You can follow us on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, the whole Napster. I don't think we're on Napster. We're on Amazon, YouTube. Shows, just Instagram would be the best. And our Facebook is just linked to our Instagram. So you can find us on Facebook. If you message us there, we'll probably respond. But Instagram is the main one.
Our Instagram and Facebook is @Stripes520. I don't know if there's an @ on Facebook.
Yeah,
I don't know
@Stripes520.
I don't know how Facebook works. Sorry.
Well, people will figure it out.
Yeah.
So.
You'll figure it out. If you look up Stripes520, it's there.
Yeah.
We have very smart listeners. We'll figure it out. All right, great. Stripes, live in Studio 2A. We're going to hear another set here.
I have to go and catch some feelings for this guy who doesn't really give a crap whether I live or I die. And I've cried about you about 100,000 times, but you still look me in the eyes and tell me that I'm fine. And I walk all the way home, all alone, lay down on my couch with your spit still in my mouth. And I walk all the way home, sit all alone, lay down on my couch with your spit still in my mouth. And I walk all the way home, sit all alone, lay down on my couch with your spit still in my mouth. And I walk all the way home, sit all alone, lay down on my couch with your spit still in my mouth. Couch with your sweet still in my mouth. And I walk all the way home, sit all alone, lay down on my couch with your sweet still in my mouth. And I walk all the way home, sit all alone, lay down on my couch with your sweet still in my mouth. Take me to your backyard. Shoot me in the head, it won't leave a scar. And I to argue with you. I was scared of nothing, at least I thought, and you tried to tell me something, but I forgot, and it's quite the mess you've gotten yourself into. got condoms in my pocket, and I'll talk to you just like I don't. So don't choke on all the hurt and pain and feelings, all that I've been dealing with. It makes me sick. All the mud that I dragged you through, all those wasted white shoes, and I end up back at the grocery store with no wallet in my pocket and my head out the door. And I hope you don't pretend like you get me. I hope you frickin' tell yourself that you never met me. I hope you don't pretend like you frickin' get me. I hope you frickin' tell yourself that you never met me. Whoa.
You're tuned in to Locals Only. My name is Matt, live in Studio 2A with Stripes here. Thanks again, everybody, for coming down tonight.
Sorry, I'm just doing signals.
That's okay. That's all right. Once again, if people want to be able to find more information about shows, Stripes 520 on Instagram or on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yes.
Music available on all the major digital streaming services.
Definitely.
And a couple shows this week. You've got a show at the Box Yard.
Yes.
Friday.
Very excited. This Friday.
Yes.
And then we're playing second Saturday.
Yep.
Hour-long sets.
Hour-long
sets.
sets.
And you've got a couple different outdoor shows in kind of non-traditional all-ages venues there. And
Yes.
and I want to go back to something you brought up at the beginning, which is sort of the all the house shows and all the all-ages shows that you've played in this project and others, and get your perspective on how you discovered the all-ages music world, because I think that at least over the last few years in Tucson, a lot of it has had to go either underground in house shows or venues that pop up for a short period of time. So how have you, as you've kind of found yourselves as musicians and in different projects, have you navigated that?
Well, I went to my first house show. I went to my first show, and then somehow, some way, online, I met someone at school, right? So he was an incoming freshman, and he was like all punk looking. Shout out to Kyler, if he's listening. I doubt he's listening. But he was like, I know where house shows are, because I'm so cool. He didn't say it like that. He's a really good kid. And I was like, I want to go. And I went, and I was scared the whole time. Everyone was doing drugs, and it was really scary. And now we don't really play house shows because everyone's just doing drugs. And I don't think music is about doing drugs. Music is about having fun and making music, and not about doing drugs and getting really high. Boo, doing a lot of drugs and getting really high. It makes it not fun, especially when you, it's just, yeah, so we tend to stray away from that. There's not a lot of really safe spots nowadays that I'm tuned into where it's nice and drug-free. I mean, Schoolhouse of Rock is one of them. The Scheme, but a lot of those house show venues, it's just like anything goes, and, it gets kind of gnarly.
So how have you managed then to kind of make your way, and you're still playing out a lot and finding ways to kind of carve out your own space? So
Magic. Usually people will come to us.
And getting offers.
Yeah, usually people just come to us and ask if we want to play, and just trying to crawl our way away from those house shows.
Yeah.
Not that all house shows are bad. I'm sure there's some lovely house shows. Acoustic house shows tend to be on the lighter, nicer side. If you've ever been to one of those, they're kind of beautiful to sit in a living room and watch someone play acoustic guitar.
Everyone's sitting crisscross and listening so attentively.
Yes, that's the house shows I like.
So if there's someone listening who wants to be in a band but doesn't even know where to start playing shows, what's your advice to
I
them?
have a whole manifesto in my head about this. My advice is you need what is really important to me in a band, and this is not for everyone, but musicianship is important, but really reliability and dependability and being a really determined, find good people around you, your friends, anyone, but you just need, make sure they're on the same page, you know? Like, if you're trying to play a ton of shows, don't get someone who can't or doesn't want to play a ton of shows, you know? Just kind of know what you're looking for and find it. And also, you have to practice more than once a week. I'm going to say, if you don't practice once a week, then just forget about it. Like, at least once a week. I mean, there's some dudes who've been playing guitar for like 10 years and they'll practice like once a month. Or like they'll practice never and then practice once and they'll play a show. But that's different. If you're starting a band and you're learning your instruments, you need to practice once a week, minimum, with your band. And every day on your own.
The Izzy Manifesto.
You need to practice. If you're not practicing right now, I don't know what you're doing. You're wasting your time. Where's this, that one? All of you. If you're listening, you need to practice.
There's so many. I don't know what to look at.
Yeah. So we've got time for a couple more songs, about 8 minutes or so. So however many you want to squeeze in. But thank you so much. It's been really fun. Stripes 520 on Instagram and Facebook, and and then for the streaming services, would it just be Stripes, or is it?
Stripes on Spotify. I think we're verified on Spotify.
Perfect.
It has the little picture of the little sunset album cover, and then I think our Spotify picture is either me or Bella.
I think it's you.
And it's like all blue colored.
It's like a very nice picture of Izzy.
Yeah, I'm like 5'4", and I have like this is blonde and like this over here is brown, and my guitar is blue.
Very specific.
So look for that.
There you go.
And Bella's like 5'4".
Guess. Oh.
And like her hair is probably blonde in the picture. And the sunset, it's like yellow. No, it's like black to pink. Sunset, water, and then it says 520 in little yellow font. I think the font is like Lucinda. If you really want to be specific,
you'll know
there
what
you go. You'll know when you
find it.
You'll see it. You'll find it.
You'll see it.
You're really smart. You'll find it.
All right, Stripes here, wrapping us up. A couple more songs on Locals Only. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Bye-bye and patience. Yes. We have to say bye to the kind of you. I learned how to sing. And why do I have to shut my mouth when I want so bad just to cry out?
You've been listening to Stripes here on Locals Only. Thanks so much for listening, everybody. Locals Only will be back next week. Sophie will be your host next week. I'll be back in a couple weeks. The Scratching Post is up next. Have a great night, everybody.
Thank you.
That was